everyone, I'm Miss Sydney here. Today I'm going to share with you 3 search questions, and I think these 3 questions are quite interesting. Consider as high order thinking questions. Now without further ado, let's start with the first one. The diagram shows a right angle triangle ABC with an area given. And in the diagram, we know one of the side is given and we need to find the other side BC. So in this case, let's start with the information given, which is the area of the triangle. Now the area of the triangle is given as 2Z3 minus 1. Okay, how do we find the area of triangle in the first place? Okay, we have to recall the formula. It's basically half times base, Z3 minus 1, times the height, the perpendicular height, which is this, BC. And exactly, that is the first question. Find the length of BC. So we need to find the height. So let's write down here, BC equals to 2Z3 minus 1. In order for us to find BC, we have to rearrange the equation. So we will have half bring over, become times 2 to the 2Z3 minus 1. And Z3 minus 1 will be dividing the expression, the terms given. Okay, now to solve this third question, we would like to neutralize or find the conjugate of to this Z3 minus 1. So the conjugate pair for Z3 minus 1 will be Z3 plus 1. So if we times Z3 plus 1 to the denominator, we do likewise for the numerator. So when we multiply this, okay, when you have the form of A plus B and A minus B, and that will give us the concept of difference between two perfect squares. And that is the fundamental concept of finding the conjugate, so that we can get back difference between two perfect squares. So in this case, in the denominator, this is our A, this is our B. So we will have A squared. So Z3 squared will get back 3. And, and 1 squared will get back 1. Difference between Z3 squared and 1 squared. And up there, okay, I'll just leave the 2 alone. And at the same time, I would like to multiply these 2 expressions, so these 2 factors. So take the first term times the first term. So we will have 2 Z3 times Z3. We will have 2 Z3 squared. We get back 3. And the first with the second, we will have positive 2 Z3. Next, this one, we will have minus Z3, and then the second term with the second term become minus 1. All right, so over here, 3 minus 1 is actually 2. Okay, there's a close bracket. So 2 times with the expansion of this 2 brackets, and we can actually factorize the 2 with the denominator down there. So what we left will be 2 times 3 is 6, and then plus 2 Z3 minus Z3, left with just 1 Z3. If you are confused with the subtraction of this, you can replace the Z3 with something else, like 2 balloon minus 1 balloon. You left with just 1 balloon. And we still have minus 1 at the back. And now 6 minus 1, we have 5 plus Z3. And that is the answer for the part A, which is BC. We just found BC. Now, hence, that means followed by what we have found just now, we need to find the value of x if AC squared equals to this. Now, we are given AC squared. Now, how do we find AC squared in the first place? Look at the diagram. AC basically is the hypotenuse of this right angle triangle. Therefore, we know that AC squared equivalent to AB squared plus BC squared. We have AB and we just found BC, so just put it in. Now AC squared is given as 2 to the power of x plus 8 sub 3. So let's expand AB squared. So AB is sub 3 minus 1 squared plus BC is 5 plus sub 3 squared. So with this, let's expand this. All right, we will have the first a squared, that will be 3 minus 2ab. So we will have 2 sub 3. And then the b squared will have plus 1. And as for the second factor, we have a squared, which is 5 squared, 25, plus 2 times 5 times sub 3, we have 10 sub 3. And then the square of the second term, that is 3. And let's combine all the constant. We have 3 plus 1 plus 25 plus 3. All in all, we have 32. And then next, the term with sub 3, we have negative 2 sub 3 and positive 10 sub 3. It's like same thing. You have 10 balloons, you take away 2 balloons, you're left with positive 8 balloons. And let's compare to the left-hand side, 2 to the power x. So let's write 32 can be written in the index form, that is 2 to the power of 5 plus 8 sub 3, which is the same as the left-hand side, to the power x plus 8 sub 3. So we compare the first term equals to the first term, second term, they are equal. Therefore, we can make a conclusion that x equals to 5. We just found the answer for the first question. Now let's move on to the second question. Using the fact that we have this square of a, cert a plus cert b equivalent to a plus b plus 2 cert ab, or otherwise. Okay, we got to determine the square root of this. Now the square root of this, if we need to use the fact, this fact given, let's try to fit this question into the fact given. Now, 7 plus 2 sub 10, definitely not in the form of this. Okay, so we have no choice to make that this is in this form. So we need to find the square root. So we let square root of 7 plus 2 cert 10 equivalent to cert A plus cert B, because I need to use this. And now if I square both sides, I will have 7 plus 2 cert 10 equivalent to square of cert A plus cert B. Isn't it now we already fit this question in the form of the fact given? So now let's use this one. We are given that cert A plus cert B squared equals to A plus B. So we just put in. We're going to compare coefficient. Okay, let's compare. The term with the cert will be this. That means we know that the 7 must be equivalent to A plus B. So A plus B equivalent to 7. And we have A times B equals to 10. Right? So let's call this equation 1. And this is equation 2. We're going to solve these two equations simultaneously. So A will equivalent to 7 minus B. Okay, let me take back this. I prefer this to be our first equation. So put or substitute equation 1 into equation 2. So whenever I see A in equation 2, I replace with 7 minus B equivalent to 10. Let's expand this. We have 7b minus b squared equals to 10. This is the quadratic term. So we're going to solve this quadratic equation. Let's bring this over. to make our b squared always positive. So we have b squared minus 7b plus 10 equals to 0, and factorize it. To get b squared, we have b times b. To get 10, we have 5 and 2, which give us the sum of negative 7b. Okay, so from here, b is either equivalent to 5 or b equals to 2. Now, therefore, from equation 1, a will equivalent to 7 minus b. B can be 5 or 7 minus b can be 2. So 7 minus 5 got 2 or 5. Therefore, it's either one of them 2 or another is 5. So we have found the answer. Okay, A can be, we have A can be 2 when B equals to 5, or A equals to 5 when B equals to 2. That will bring us to our answer, which we want to find the square root of 7 plus 2 root 10 equivalent to cert A plus cert B. So it will be cert 2 plus cert 5. That's the solutions for this question number 2. Now let's move on to question number 3. Question number 3 will be much easier. We just need to find the conjugate pair for our denominator. So we have to express this in the form of this. Okay, in the form of whereby a, b, x, and y are constant. So without further ado, let's find conjugate pair. So we have 3 terms over here. So we need to make sure it is in 2 terms. So let's group these 2 terms into 1 so that we can create our conjugate pair to be 2 plus cert 3 minus cert 7. So we do likewise for both numerator and denominator. And next, we just multiply. Okay, let's solve the denominator first. This is our A. So 2 plus cert 3. When we square this, we minus cert 7 squared, which is 7. And up there, basically 4 multiply with this whole thing. So it will be 4 times 2, 4 times cert 3, and 4 times negative cert 7. So we will have 8 plus 4 cert 3 and minus 4 cert 7. And divided by, should write up here. And let's solve whatever down here. So expand this. So we have 4 plus 2 times 2 times cert 3. We have 4 cert 3. And then square the cert 3. So we have 3. And we will, minus 7. Okay. Next. Now, in the numerator, we can't do much. Just copy. We can do something with the denominator because 4 plus 3 is 7. 7 minus 7 is 0. So we're left with 4 cert 3. Now, let's find a conjugate pair for cert 3. I mean, in order to rationalize our fraction. So the only way is multiply with cert 3. So at the bottom, we will left with 4 times 3. At the top, the whole thing multiply with cert 3. So we will have 8 cert 3 plus 4 cert 3 times cert 3. We get back 3. And minus 4 cert 7 times cert 3. We can actually combine 7 and 3 under the symbol of cert. We have 21 in it. We are almost there. So now we have 8 cert 3 plus 12 minus 4 cert 21. Okay, over 12. Now let's look. We have to find in the form of 1 plus a cert form and another term in cert form. So in this case, I noticed that 12 and 12 can be simplified. So each of them I can just separate separate them like this. Therefore, let's rearrange, put the 1 in front, and this one will be divided by 4. We have 2 over 3. So we have 2/3 of Z3 minus 4/1, 4/3. So we have 1/3 of Z21. And we have just expressed the expression given in the form required. So that's all. These 3 third questions, I hope that will help you to solve the question, the high order thinking question in this area. Thank you very much.